Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Roll for Bluff, our talk show where we discuss the ongoing events of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Bards and Nobles. I am Sam. I play Chet in our campaign. To my right, we have Tristan, who plays Sorn, and to my left, we have Brandon, our Dungeon Master. They'll be joining me as my co-hosts, as well as my poor, unfortunate souls.
So sad. But true.
In tonight's episode, Cursed Creatures.
So, where we last left off, you guys had just been visited by an arc-like phoenix on your ship.
Yes.
And Chet was rip-rearing ready to talk to it.
Damn, that's cool.
Hey there, friendo. And you, with pure luck,
Yeah.
were able to convince it through your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and how you acted to cause it to not immediately try and attack you all.
Which was good.
Very good. The Harpies, on the other hand, were like,
We don't know you.
We don't know you. That's my purse. That's my chili bag.
My chili bag.
I want it. So that's when That's when Chili Chet realized that his chili pouch, had actually been blessed by Corellin.
Blessed chili.
It's a good sign.
To baptize people with chili.
Pretty much, but his deity of magic.
The Father, the Son, the meat,
So
the
the
spice.
Harpies, not knowing why, they're like, that bag doesn't seem to run out of chili. We want it. So a battle ensued. Chet in his first combat went pretty well,
Yeah.
all things considered.
You had a
Could've
game
been worse.
plan.
Yeah.
You guys then spent the next few days traveling along until you saw a large plume of smoke in the distance. To half the group was like, I don't want to go over there, and the other half was like, we're going over there.
I was like, it's just a funeral probably. Goodbye. Let's go.
Got outvoted.
Yeah. That's
You
usually
guys-
how it goes. Someone's like, maybe we should not. No, let's go do it, guys. Because Morena is going to agree to just do anything. I think she's just like, adventure time, freedom.
So you guys went over there, docked your ship, and broke
Doctor
off. Doctor ship. No. Split off into two different groups. Liren went with Chet,
Yeah.
and the rest of you guys went to the pyre.
Mm-hmm.
Chet met a lovely dwarf who had ran a shop of magic, who sold you.
2 spells.
It should be noted that Sorn gave Chet 100 gold. Like, hey, you probably need some supplies. You probably need to do some stuff. You're pretty broke. I'll help you out.
Wizards.
So what did you do with that $100?
I spent it on spells.
She
How
spent
fast?
all 100 gold that I had just given
Hey,
Chet.
I haggled her down, all right?
100
Right.
gold given to you, and then 10 minutes later, gone.
Yeah.
So
Now, it makes sense, but Sorn's like that dad, like, I just gave you that money for the movies.
What spells did you get?
I got Dark Vision, which is good because Chet a human, and he can't see in dark. And then I also got Dragon's Breath.
Yay!
Yay.
2 mid-level spells. They're not very high.
They're okay.
That's
And
more
they're-
spells.
They're on the lower end, but they're
Neither are
schools.
enchantment.
Ah, darn it. As if enchantment's not a wide-known thing to use all the time. It's almost as an aberration
Saying
and
it's
conjuration
cheaper.
are easier.
It's cheaper.
It's cheap.
Oh, it is for Chet.
Yeah.
So, on the condition that you would go check Mayor Mayfire.
Yeah.
Mayor Mayhew?
No.
Mayor
To make
Mayfire.
sure that he's okay because she hasn't seen him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, you happily obliged.
Yep, nice guy Chet.
You were just like, oh, cool, this can't end badly.
Not at all.
Doing this nice, innocent
Boy,
lady a favor.
how deep this ocean goes. So you walk, you were like, okay, let's go, meet up with the rest of the group. While on the other side, Solomon, Soren, and Morena had a grand old time with Morena just popping off questions.
Oh, man.
So who we sacrificing?
Yeah, because that was the guess. It was like, Soren was like, it's probably a funeral. And then Morena was like, it's probably a sacrifice from the sky when we saw it. And so the first thing she does is goes, oh, hello, Mr. Priest Cleric guy who's just standing here. Who we sacrificing? To which he got really concerned, really nervous, and started calling over higher level priests. And she was like, oh no, we're in trouble.
I'm going to cast Modify Memory.
We just asked what's going on here.
Just Jedi mind tricked him.
Yes.
I mean, Great use of the spell.
Because even like Soren tried to like oh she's just stupid.
No. So Father Reinhardt comes over and is like, so what do you need me for?
And he's like, oh, they're just asking questions about what's going on.
And to which you learn that only individuals who worship deities of the moon, storm, or sea are allowed to know.
Right.
Luckily for us, though, we have a Goliath who worships a storm god.
Who, me?
No.
No.
So that got you a ticket in.
Yes.
We'll get to that. So you met up with the rest of the group, and you guys are like, whoo. After meeting his son, named Brother.
Yes.
He was like, oh, you're going to be giving the tour. And he was like, I guess so.
I guess I'll show around these peasant
This
commoners.
peasant. You guys were like, Chet was like, okay, so I made a deal with somebody. We just got to go check and make someone's doing okay. No big deal. No problems. To which it was a pleasant stroll. I mean, the town was nice. People were friendly. Everything was going well.
And it also should be noted that if people are questioning, like, why didn't Soren get mad at Chet making a deal? I think it's because it was a very different deal than the ones that he usually gets mad at.
Yeah, it wasn't like sell a soul or like kill this person.
Or sign us up to be mercenaries.
Can you check on my friend Sonny?
Right. So I definitely want to make that clear because I think there's people that were kind of confused, like, why didn't Soren get mad at Chet? And it's like, because it was a very different deal. It was very much like, would you check on my friend for me? I haven't seen him in a little bit. Like, that sounds like a reasonable thing to ask somebody who's working a shop and possibly can't leave.
It's a reasonable deal that Soren would have made.
Yes.
Little do they know.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Let's talk about that.
No. Okay. So you guys walked over. It was a beautiful stroll. Mm-hmm. When you get to there, you were greeted by a Triton carrot, pretty much carrot, like all around maid, but also like head maid, ran the whole estate. Let you in. People were trimming hedges, taking care of things. The house was not in disrepair, but it wasn't being upkept as well.
Could use some TLC.
Yeah. You go inside, and she leads you up to Mayor Mayfire's room.
Right. Because Morena keeps persuading people pretty well.
Charisma, man.
Yeah, being a very pretty half-elf has its advantages.
It definitely helps. It's the only charismatic face now.
Yes.
So you go up to the room, and what did you find?
The mayor. Covered mostly in barnacles.
Why barnacles? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Curse of the Sea would be my first guess.
Nobody knows.
Tristan can make that guess.
Yes.
Soren is like, that's weird.
Is that part of your race, bud?
I don't know much about Tritons. No!
No, it's not part of my...
You guys tried a bunch of different times, a bunch of different ways to, interact with him. It went okay. After a while, he got really scared and started to run.
Yes.
And after everyone cast spells successfully on him at least once, I had everyone do a save. And the 3 people who cast spells on him all failed. Oh, who lives in a barnacle?
Who now has a barnacle
Under
on
a
their
barnacle.
hands.
Under a
Ghost
barnacle.
of the party.
So Chet, Morena, and Solomon all failed and all had started getting affected with the barnacle. To which one individual was getting affected a lot more.
Yes.
Morena.
Morena. Hers is...
As an aquatic half elf.
Being one of the sea did not work well for her. So
we'll get to that.
You guys brought him back, calmed him down a bit. You guys went downstairs for some food and to try and calm him down.
Right.
And at this point, and then you had left. You went over to
Miss Terry.
Miss Terry.
Miss Terry to be like, hey, can you come back here? You really need to see him. He really needs you. And she was like, I'll be right there. And you ran with her. And he was like, oh, my lover, my boy. To which you guys are like, oh.
Well, that explains her worrying.
Dang. So you're just rolling your eyes because you know.
Yes.
Man, I'm going to pat myself in the back for this.
Our vision is much like this year.
2020. I'm patting myself on the back for this the understory telling that you guys are like, oh my god. But we'll get to that. So you guys like leave, like I'll take care of him. You leave. You try and figure out what's going on.
Right. We figured that Soren's acceptance into the learning of the temple and its rituals would probably help trying to figure a little stuff out to see if they were the ones at fault or what.
But you had some time to kill.
Right. So we had it so that Soren was like, hey, I can go in the water see if there's something, pardon the pun, fishy.
Before we did that.
You guys went to the Temple of the Ancients.
You're right,
Yeah.
we did.
So you went to the Temple of the Ancients. You're like, this is a neat, older-looking temple.
Right, because it had like
No
murals
doors.
on-
It was more like
an opening.
an open, like hole, like a doorway. On the inside were intricate murals. On the bottom, it was the colors of the ocean, ranging from beach
Shoreline
to deep ocean.
Right, it had mer people on the inside, like
It was merfolk coming out of the ocean onto land.
Yeah.
as well as a depiction of a leviathan.
So a mass of tentacles with a maw.
Big old mouth.
Because leviathans, the name is very broad. It can mean a large underwater creature with not much intelligence. To it can be a literal force of like nature with high intelligence and wants, needs, desires, power. So Leviathan was it's just a temple to the ancient beings like Leviathans.
Right, and the easiest way to describe the one that we saw on the wall would be what most people associate as kind of the Kraken.
Kind of, yeah.
Not necessarily what it was, but just as an easy way of trying to figure out what
it looked
we
like.
saw. Yeah.
The beautiful mosaic of that.
Yes.
Soren was like, okay, we need to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit on the beach part of this and
Looking
pray.
At, yeah. And it was definitely one of those things. This is definitely a focal point to old gods. And Soren has the benefit of having an old god.
Technically.
Yeah.
Not the right
Not, yeah.
right
he's
energy,
an older-
wrong thing.
Yes, he's an older god, not necessarily one of the old gods.
So
or the ancient ones, as it
You,
were.
as you did and you crushed it, the way the mosaic tiles let off a glow as the wave of energy went towards Soren, and you spoke with Thor, and he was like, so, in a roundabout way, he was like, yeah, you need to figure this out quick or your aquatic friend's gonna die.
Right. He also, like, when I also brought up there might be sacrifices, he's like, well, I don't want my name associated with sacrifices. That's some bull. If
Clean
you
that
have to, start hitting people and figure out what the heck's going on, please.
And that was my favorite part of that.
He was like,
Thor's
beat the-
just like, just start beating people.
I mean, that's pretty...
It's pretty Thor.
Thor.
Get the answers that you want and fix the problem now. Okay.
No questions. So you did it.
Yes.
You went back. Everything receded, and Liam was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to the boat and make sure the boat's good."
Right, and we did warn Morena, and that's where we noticed that her infection is accelerating quite quickly, whereas some people only have it down to the end of their finger. She's getting it down to like her.
She's losing motion in her hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
That's where we were like, okay, well, we still have a few hours before everything. Why don't you guys go kind of in town, see if you guys can find any answers? Soren was like, well, I can breathe underwater.
I'm
Maybe
gonna go check out the ocean.
I'm going to check out the ocean, see if there's anything. Because it was one of those things where, because Soren is very much the very religious and God deity thing. So it wouldn't be hard to believe that if the ocean was like, I'm trying to reclaim because you guys are screwing with me. Like, I use like pollution or overfishing.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
He's our hero.
Soren is the new Captain Planet.
Captain Soren.
Well, tell me that wouldn't exist in a D&D
No,
world.
no, I
where
can- I
where
can
the ocean
completely
is just
understand
like,
that,
you're
yeah.
throwing crap in my water. I'm retaking this land, thank
I
you.
am Sornana.
So that was Soren's mentality. It was like, maybe I can see even if it was like an army of Tritons
Yeah.
just sitting in the water waiting to take him.
is
So
this?
he was like, I can at least probably take a couple of ganders around here.
So as we were all walking, we were walking together, and we stop. You know, there's people who are noticing Morena's hand because
She's
at one
the-
point somebody had cracked a joke about Chet putting chili on it. So Chet put chili on it just to
And then
prove a
Miranda
point.
said, I'm gonna eat it.
And then Morena's like, I'm gonna eat it. So,
so
then
she
people
just has
are
her hand out.
it's covered in barnacles and chili. So people are looking. And
Little bit
Chet
of
decides he's
crunch.
going to stop and ask a gentleman and see maybe if, somebody around the town knows anything about it. Well, that turned out to be a bad idea.
Yep. Because he tried to answer,
Well,
stopped
he was
answering.
He
like, "I'm
didn't
gonna
try
leave."
to answer. He was trying to leave, and Chet was like, "Well, no, you're not."
Okay, I guess
dominate
he
person.
He was trying to give a different answer.
Yeah.
So then you caused that to happen, and he was answering until he got to a certain point, and then just sea foam.
Just sea foam. He started like drowning in sea
Passed
foam.
out.
And then, a long line of horrible mistakes made that night.
Just the domino.
God, I almost called him Christophany. Solomon.
Solomon, our
Our
cleric.
cleric, decided he was going to perform an emergency tracheotomy on this man.
Clear!
And,
Which to me sounds hilarious because the sea foam would be coming from his lungs. So a tracheotomy would do nothing.
that was kind of my thought, too, but...
Well, I think it's one
I
of those
wasn't
things
gonna stop
where...
him.
Well, I can't tell if it was said in jest, like, oh, emergency tracheotomy, or if
he said he was doing it. Like,
Yeah, I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to try." And I was like, "Roll medicine." So he rolled a medicine. He got a decent score, but then where it just fell to pieces was with his
Sleight of hand.
hammer. He just
So let's set the scene for a moment. A group of us are interacting with a gentleman carrying a cart on a busy road in the middle of the day in broad daylight when there's a whole bunch of people already looking at us. This gentleman passes out on the ground.
we pick him up and put him into his hay bale.
Pick him
Well,
up.
we
put him
did
into a
initially
cart.
get it so that people were like, oh,
he's
he's
drunk.
drunk. And everyone's like, well, that makes sense.
And then the next thing that happens is our cleric takes a knife and stabs him in the throat.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
That's not how you fix drunk.
Granted, his next step was heal him, but
To which
He priest.
a priest was there, one of Umber Lee. Came over and was like, "You guys need to stop moving.
And was like, whoosh. All right, guys, really,
Stop that
moving.
man!" And then people tried to grab him. Calm emotions happened. Everyone failed except for the priest, who noticed what was happening and was going to try and just not kill Myrna, but like silence her,
Right.
by taking away her ability to speak, because most of her spells are verbal.
yeah.
So taking that away, you held person fast
Yeah.
enough, and you tried to have a conversation.
I did. Tried real
It
hard.
went fairly well.
Yeah.
Went better than I'm gonna-
Which caused me to roll again. You guys casting spells on individuals, you have the curse. I feel like you guys are going to be like more cautious, but to sum this episode up, spells were just spewed everywhere.
This is one of those
Slinging
times
spells.
I'm so glad
There
I'm not
were
a
so
spellcaster.
many spells thrown. We'll get there.
So you calmed him down. He talked. He's like, "Okay, show me like the sea foam." And you go over and there's nothing there.
Nope. Gone. Which is some garbage.
Someone's messing with us. That's when you guys started to be like, someone's near. Someone's stopping us. So he was like, "Okay, we're going to wait for other people to come here." To which Father Reinhardt was brought, and he was like, "Why am I here?"
Like, this man died, kind
And
of saved
Soren
us.
slipped away at this
Yes.
point. He was like,
Yes. In the commotion, I was like, I'm going to go to the ocean. Bye.
Yeah.
"The commotion of the ocean, and I'm out of here."
Which was probably
The
good
best
idea.
thing.
Yeah.
And what happened tonight, that's probably like one of the best things.
Yeah.
So we'll flip back over. Well, you guys were doing that and heading towards the church, the
Yes,
temple
they were
of
asked to come to
deities.
the temple with Fred the farmer. Soren skedaddled.
Yeah. So you were out in the ocean. You put Squidge in the...
And I left Squidge in a nice little beach
He
day.
was in his little sand pit.
He was
Because
just
Squidge
like,
had
"It's
come
so
with me
warm."
originally because he was supposed to go with me to the temple to learn.
Right.
And you were
because-
going to chill out. Chet was going to chill outside and just like, "I'm going to watch and listen." And...
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just had Squidge with me.
And that was Squidge in cat form.
Sorry, Squidge.
So Squidge waited on this beach, and you went out into the ocean.
Right. And the first thing I noticed is that there was like
No
no animal life.
No
Which,
fish.
to me, you would... Because at one point you were like, "Oh, I'm looking to see if there's any, like, danger signs." I'm like, that is a big danger sign!
There should be fish everywhere.
Right. So once I went in there, I was like, that's not normal. But I did also check for vegetation because if that was
Yeah.
also devoid, that'd be a
That's
real...
even worse.
Yeah. There'd still be vegetation.
We're on the scale of 1 to 5. We're at like a 3.
Yeah. So I kept exploring a little bit more. I got about 3/4 of a mile out, and I come
You
across...
found a mile long about 50 feet high, just foggy embankment where the motion, the current of the ocean wasn't happening.
Right. It was
Stale,
it was unnatural.
stagnant. Yeah.
It was like there's no way that this should be a thing.
I know oceans. This is not ocean.
And as he's standing there, like, near this thing and trying to figure out what it is, he starts hearing.
Can I do the sound?
Please do the sound. Nightmare fuel, folks.
And he's like,
That's what I'm doing in the middle of the night.
that's not good. And so he backs up and rolls a 1. And falls over a drop, to which he hears everything goes silent. He hears a bunch of them in there.
Yes, I hear you said about 10. Is
About
what
10
I
from what you
make
can
out.
hear. Yeah, and so you walk. You start to get up and you see one come out, and it's a humanoid with barnacles covering it. Barnacles have formed like claw and talon. Something is on its back, weighing it down as it and comes for you, and you're just like, nope, 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 no, nope, no, nope, no, 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 no. So yeah, you bolted.
Yes. Because it got a little bit further out, and it looked like it was attached to a large stone or something that was really holding it. And then once I started to get further away, it retracted back into it.
Yeah.
So it didn't pursue me. So it was definitely there waiting for something, whether it was a command or an event to happen, like a full moon. You know how these D&D, it's how it works, right?
Spin the wheel, and what's the cause?
Yeah.
So you get back to town, and you're just like, guys,
Guys, bad thing in the water. Where are you at?
and everyone's just like, oh, I'm just gonna stay on the boat.
Yes.
You guys, while this is happening, you meet up with, you guys, you're meeting up at the doorway of the temple.
They're already in the temple in the medical wing.
So you're getting ready to enter. Before this is all
While
happening.
this is going on, we are kind of put in like a quarantine area with other people who are infected with these barnacles. And once again, Chet tries to talk to somebody and figure out what's going on. Because at this point, Chet's very frustrated because he's trying to be nice and he's trying to talk to people, and these people aren't giving him shit. Because Chet has not really figured out exactly how this curse thing works yet, and that's very frustrating for him.
Especially for a man as intelligent.
Exactly. That's why he was so frustrated. And then this gentleman, as we're having a lovely conversation, goes, I can't do this, and then kills himself.
Well,
he starts getting overcome. He's coughing up barnacles. and
he rolled a nat 1 on his save.
God.
So everything that happened was hyper accelerated.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was like, and you were just like, tell me right now. And everyone else
He's
like,
like,
he is vomiting barnacles.
Chet's like, I don't care. I need to know.
To which his answer was, I won't be a part of this. And then
Latches his whip as they see suckers of an octopus tentacle, and he just pulls his own throat out.
So
there's got to
like,
be an easier way
this
to kill
happens.
himself.
The guy dies. Everybody else in the room is like, ah! As the door opens and there's Soren and
Another priest.
Yeah, you didn't get
yes. And because at this point, when we had first gotten there, Father was there.
Yes.
And
he
Father
was
ran
like-
whenever you guys were like, oh yeah, he's over in
Yeah.
He's over in the temple. He
The
just
ancients.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Because while they were getting ready to leave, Brother had showed up, said he was going to pray. Soren heard the water and bubbles, and they look back and he's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh, that's weird."
So Father had taken off, and there's this priest here who's like, what the heck just happened? Who's like totally disgusted that this guy's just dead on the floor.
Right. So this is where I think
Soren's just like, "What is happening?"
you guys are always in trouble. Solomon then gets his brain goes, Father's the problem
Because Brother is
in the temple.
I don't think it started out like that way. I think it started out with Solomon went into fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
And then flew. And
To
ran.
fight.
And then ran to fight.
Which on his way over, when you guys were getting ready to head over to talk to Brother.
Yes, because Solomon was gone. We're like, all right, let's go check on Brother, who's in the same building we were at. So,
Yeah.
But as Solomon's running to the Temple of the Ancients,
He runs into Miss Tari, who is walking over there she's like, I'm just going to pray, and I'm trying to do whatever I can. And Solomon's like, fair, let's go.
Fair enough. I'm going to make sure that you don't get hurt by Father or Brother or whoever's there.
the seeds I sowed were so good. So you got he went in. Father is there, not moving. Mm-hmm. He goes like, "Hey." Father doesn't move. He looks at his face, and Father's eyes have turned to an inky black, while ink is coming out of his eyes and out of his mouth, and he's just staring there, doing nothing. And Solomon's like,
"Well, that's not good.
I'm gonna heal."
Let's see if that helps.
Didn't really. I mean, he healed.
He healed him. Then he was like, "Okay, whap." Didn't kill him. And so then he was like, he started talking to him, and it came out that Father's under whatever this being's control is, and he will rise. Mm-hmm. The being will rise again to consume, and sent out an inky black tendril to attach to Solomon.
To which Solomon failed to save.
And then next save.
Bond.
And then third save, wisdom save, crushed it.
Crushed his wisdom save. So he was cognizant of what was going on, but had no control over his body.
Right.
To which he learned after, his eyes also went inky, and that mystery was like, oh, thank God. He didn't. If you wouldn't have got out of here, I would have had to take care of him myself. And Solomon's like, what?
Yeah.
So everyone at the table was like, got it. Everything we know is wrong. Got it.
Right, but since we're all separated, our characters themselves don't know.
Yep. Everyone at the table was like, we've been bamboozled. We've been heckin' bamboozled. We've been Schmeckledorf. That's not even a word. So
it is now.
So you talk to brother, and he's like, he poofed, and he's like, I went to the sea. I talked to my God when he transports me to the sea.
Right, and that was something that Soren had suggested might be the case.
So many things where if you guys wouldn't have insight checked him. But if you guys would have done a little more digging and found some things out, or things would have played out differently, you could have insight checked him. You would have had a reason. I would have allowed you, and you guys would have been like.
But we had
nothing. You had nothing on.
We literally. So I felt like this. We went from okay, we're trying to figure it out. Things just
because of the choices you guys made and what you did. You cut out exploration phases.
Yeah. Right. We were attempting to get ready for some of those investigations. Like Soren going to try and find out more. He would have gone there and would have tried to been investigated. And they're like, I don't know if I believe these people. Given reasons why to be inquisitive.
When they're talking to them, you could have been like, that's weird. They
right.
Because that was your goal, and they would have gone through the whole process.
Right. So then we would have had.
Since it's a timeline that does not exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah. You would have done that. They would have. You would have talked to somebody. Somebody would have let slip the word sacrifice.
Right.
And you would have been like.
All right. So now
you would have found out. You would have found out that the sacrifices, the volunteers, were the sick.
Right.
They were the ones being infected. They were burning the infected.
Got it.
So
I had a feeling it was going to be something like that.
You guys would have found that out, and you would have been like, "I trust nobody."
Yes.
Because they would have been like because they would have said the volunteers are the ones that are already infected and see no hope. So they would like to give hope to other people, and then immediately Soren would have been like, "Wait a minute."
I gotta check all this stuff. So because that's where Soren would have told everyone. Everyone would have been inciting check.
That would have been exploration 2.
Yeah.
You guys could have then also gone back to talk to Mayor Mayfire, and he would have been like, Mr. Ray's acting weird. Number 3.
Yeah.
Father, you wouldn't have found him. So it would have been like, that's weird. 4. And then you guys have been like, okay, so we know who. You guys would have been able to eliminate the people. And so, but because of the choices and decisions made, that got cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tracheotomy.
So you jumped. Yeah, the tracheotomy was the first thing that was like. So you guys, instead of wading out into the water, you guys were like, get involved. So
we didn't insight check brother, and we're like, oh well, we sent Father to the temple, and Solomon's there because we can't get a hold of Solomon, so let's go. So on our way there, we run into Miss Terry.
And she's like...
And while we're sitting here as players, like, you manipulative...
Their characters are like...
characters are like, oh, hi, nice lady.
Sweet lady, is everyone okay? What's going on? They're like, the inky black is taken. And they're like, we're out of here. So you guys ran in. Solomon and Father were both kneeling in front of the... the longer they were there, the more possession it was going to take.
Yeah.
So because Solomon had, the brain function, it was going to take longer.
Right.
To his credit.
Yeah.
So
I
Father-
immediately held person.
and
This is where a lot of back and forth. Almost
Yeah.
every save failed for a lot of different things, minus some of the hold persons.
only let's just say the best way to put this is a lot of held persons happened, a lot of people going back and forth. They finally found out that brother was a part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was like, I have to.
Like almost like an unwilling part
Yeah.
of it.
And then you found out that it was Mr. E,
Yeah.
and then she was like, well, I'm out of here.
Yeah. She dipped.
Yes.
And it was one of those things that was like at one point, Chet was the only one not being held.
Yes.
It was brother
And brother was not being held. And then
It was a good old the whole person
oh
standoff.
my god, it was
Yeah, like I said, it was a lot of hold peoples, a lot of failed saves,
Yeah.
a lot of just spell slots.
I was like I was trying to smack people out of it. I was trying to do damage
Because
to people
the
to break
reason why
concentration.
you immediately went into hold person is because the amazing ability Morena has, invasive thoughts, because she
Yeah.
went up to Solomon because his cognizant talked to him. He was like, it's
Yeah.
Mr. E, she's the one doing this. And she was like, pew, 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 send it off.
I think it was funny. He didn't start with that though.
Yeah.
It was like, Father, what about him? He's taking possession.
I know, I was like when are you gonna get to the good part there?
And
That
the whole
that
time.
goes down to Solomon, I think, as a character.
I know,
He's gonna
it's
start
just
with
so
like the numerical things in his head
I'm like
of like
priorities, bud.
like chronologically what happened.
So I got in the mode like Mr. E was doing it, and she was like, well, all right, take care of him out
Yeah,
here.
Mystery wound up leaving. Brother
melted
eventually
with stone.
melded with stone and left.
And only held his whole person for a minute because he wasn't going to try and cast from the wall. He can't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soren wound up taking out.
Father
Father.
was gone. There was no.
She
there
did
was-
invasive thoughts, and it was just.
So Soren wound up taking him out. And then we all did group prayer to try to help Solomon because there literally nothing else was working.
Yes, like I said, it was nothing but failed saves.
So Soren tried to pray, Chet tried to pray, and then Chet's like, let's all try together. And then nat 20 on that religion check from Solomon.
The perfect timing, which he talked to Paylor, and Paylor was like, all right, I'm here to help you. Let's do this, but I will be expecting more from you in the future.
Yes,
We'll be talking soon.
Solomon was like, all right, man, cool.
I'm planning on doing that anyway.
And so he was like, you have to wait until twilight for my power to become strongest with you, and then I will free you.
Yeah.
To which, that happened. I mean, he was like, I'm not moving. And then you killed Father Reinhardt, and you were like, okay, guys, what's going on? The tentacles were writhing. They're like, okay, that's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So you waited and talked a lot.
There was also
before
a
that
water elemental.
Yeah, it was
Well, I'd
like
say that was in between. You guys were talking and waiting, and then after a while,
Yeah.
it happened where, and then like, oh, water elemental. And then he was like, I only serve my master. I'm not here to talk to you.
Chet was gonna try to talk to it.
as Chet does.
Chet does, and then
And
that
then a
didn't
bit
work.
bap and
And
whip
then
whap
Chat
and
was
have
like,
it.
and then Chat was like, "How big is this room? Fireball."
And then you guys just beat the crap out of it.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, a water elemental for 3 individuals of level 10 is not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just literally a turn economy.
I don't know. I just wanted to kill it to get the point.
Didn't happen.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Stole your kill.
That's fine. It's just how Soren works. He deals damage and then someone else
Yeah.
finishes it off. It's like, dang it.
I mean, that's good though. Things die. That's the
Yeah,
important thing.
that's the ultimate goal.
So you eventually, kill it. Then what happened?
We were like, we should probably get Solomon outside of this room. This room seems to be a course of a lot of problems.
Yeah.
To
So
which
we wound up getting him out.
But
Right.
when you grabbed him,
there
the
was
inky black creature, the thing that was oozing, was on Solomon where you couldn't see him.
Right.
And it reached out and got Soren. He failed his deck save. And everyone
Yeah.
immediately went, oh no. please."
Fortunately, though, he
Soren's a tough guy.
succeeded his Constitution
I
save.
got good con, so I was
Thank
like, how
God,
dare you?
Because if you would have been, I would have been just. I'm
Just
done.
dead.
I'm done.
So it scuttered away. You fireballed it, didn't kill it. You were close.
I was trying.
You were just short. And it squeezed through the cracks and ran away.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys were like, okay, now you can move. So you guys waited the time everyone, did their hit die and everything, and then at twilight,
Yeah.
his eyes were flashing and rotating the colors of twilight as the visage of Paylor went over his body and just expelled the thing and just crushed it into a radiant blast.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
To which he was Solomon was like, I can breathe again.
I haven't breathed in 4 hours, guys.
Dang. So you guys, that was when you guys started like, ding, ding, ding. We're doing this now. We're not doing this now. We're doing this now. We're not doing this now.
Let me put it this way. I was down, before the short rest, I was down to 1 spell slot. I used my Arcane Recovery to gain another 4. That was it. That's all I had.
Right, and this is where there's that, where we all talk about as players and characters, there's that divide. Because, as a player, I know that's what you need to do to be things. But this is where as Sorn, who's just a barbarian...
I don't care about that.
I don't care.
Chet went off on Sorn.
And Sorn was ready to fight back. And
Renner was just like, oof. I don't have much spells either. I'm with Chet, but oof, I don't want to get in the middle of this.
Yeah. And then along comes Mayor Mayfire, all barnacled up and everything.
Right.
And he's like, guys, I have a safe place. She needs me. I'm the one she's looking for so that she can release the Leviathan.
You guys were like, oh, the rest of the Tritons are gone, huh? Well, that sucks.
Oh, boy.
So yeah, that's where we find out that that's his purpose, is to be used as more or less a sacrifice to release the Leviathan that she serves or worships or whatever you want to say.
So we wound up deciding to go to his secret hiding place. We returned invisible. Morena disguised herself. We snuck our way to the lighthouse and decided to hole up there for the night. And we did hear from Liren.
She was like, I fought a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'm in the airship now. I'm flying around.
Yeah, back to an airship to try and separate herself from everything else, which was a very good decision, which, like I said...
Someone says her intelligence is 20.
Yeah. It was good. Like I said, Soren was going to suggest that, and he was like, you might want to get out of the water.
I think it's hilarious. None of you talked to her that entire time. You guys didn't inform her of anything.
I mean, Soren kind of tried, and she kind of brushed him off.
That's true. She was in the middle of fighting.
Well, yeah.
No, that was before she was fighting, when you were going to the beach.
Yeah, but
she was in the midst of, I'm assuming, fighting them.
No, like when you were leaving the beach.
When you were leaving to go to the beach?
She responded to that.
Yeah, and then when you were leaving, she was like, okay, Soren's coming, a lot of stuff is going on. I'll be here if you need me.
Right, because then Soren tried to call her and she didn't answer.
In between all that, you guys could have been like, so it's mystery.
In between all that, what? We wouldn't have had time. We were too busy holding people.
The hours that you were waiting for Solomon?
I'm just saying. We were holding people.
So, yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So, she's off the coast, just hanging out for a bit. You guys all are holding up, taking a long rest.
And the last thing that we saw before we ended the session was Miss Terry standing on the water
with
as
Brother.
Giant tentacles are coming out.
Or the Leviathan.
So this was
fun.
This was a god awful
fun for me.
Session. God, I hated it.
I loved it.
So I guess now we can ask this question. So when it came to the Fred the farmer, when they're trying to detect magic around and whatnot, and I made the joke of it's almost like a spell that has 120 feet. Was it someone sniping spells from afar? Okay, well, that's what I had the feeling of, and that's why even with doing things like detect magic, which only had a 30 feet.
Yeah.
So also the curse. If you're already cursed, it has a thing depending on, who cursed you. Mm-hmm. It has a reaction to it.
Like a dampening effect. Yeah. I could just imagine that she was standing 120 feet away, the end of her range, and just nope.
This was a frustrating session. Not as a player, it was a frustrating.
Yeah, because I think it was just we had the curse of bad rolls this session.
I think it wouldn't have been so bad if things didn't go from 0 to 60
real
without
quick.
Those
Yes,
steps.
And that's a valid point.
And I'm not gonna blame any one person. We made mistakes. The mistakes were made.
It definitely felt like we crammed more like 2 to 3 sessions into the one session.
Yeah, because of how things went.
Yeah. So I think that's it got everyone's adrenaline and frustrations a lot faster because of how it goes. But I mean that's just how things go.
This is the first time you guys have had to do a political intrigue type situation.
Yes.
So.
Where he's just where's
this
the
is
monster?
your first campaign, first time doing stuff like this. This is generally how it goes for a lot of first parties.
I'm gonna say that you did throw us for a loop, but I was kind of wondering if Miss Terry was the culprit.
What part? Yeah, what part people were in?
Yeah.
Who was the mastermind? Who was the like the puppets?
Exactly.
See,
I was like,
my original theory was that it was the merfolk that were trying to reclaim the land back to the ocean, and Brothers was a part of it because he was so devoted to them with his merfolk like adorned robes, and at the Temple of the Ancients that had merfolk adorned in there. So I had a feeling he was a part of it. Just my theory was that the merfolk were demanding the land back to the ocean.
So you thought it was less like supernaturally, more like...
Well, it would still be supernatural, but...
Well, but
You
less...
thought it was
less,
players in the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was merfolk going like, you guys have dishonored this land. Give it back.
You thought it was sea to land, not land to sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a valid thing. I purposely did it like that.
Yeah.
I tried to do as many things where it was like, is it? Is it not? I don't think it is. That doesn't seem like it. But that seems like it.
Right. I just think we didn't have time to really form many opinions.
Like I said, if things would have gone normally, you guys would have
we
slowly
would have all
uncovered the
developed like
mystery.
8 different like guesses.
Yeah.
So
And then-
we all went from like a wild guess in the
No
very beginning
ideas.
to, oh no, we were all wrong.
Yeah, everyone was wrong. This is all wrong. We have, like I said, we've been heckin' bamboozled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's part of it, though. Now, you guys are going to live and learn and be like, okay, take it slow unless we're on a time crunch. And you guys technically were. I was only going to I rolled for Morena. She had 2 days.
Yeah.
So you guys had 2 days to try and figure it out. The rest of you had 6.
We still have like a day to
Yeah.
figure it out.
You have a day now.
I don't know how we're gonna manage this, but I guess we'll have to find that out. Not
weeks.
tomorrow, but the week after.
Yep.
Tomorrow we are actually going to be having, we've decided, a mini paint party because some of our minis have been painted and some of them not so much, and we really want you guys to be able to see them. Unfortunately, Brandon will not be in town, so.
I'm a terrible painter anyways.
We all
That's
are.
okay. I'm gonna paint for him. But you'll get to see us. It's gonna be kind of like an AMA paint party. So it'll just kind of be like a just chatting type thing. If you guys have any questions or want to chip in some ideas for paint jobs or just want to talk about D&D,
Ask questions. I will be in chat.
he'll be present but not present.
Yeah, I'll be present.
They're the one asking all the questions,
I'll be asking you guys questions, but I'll also be in chat. So if there's a DM question, I will answer.
Yeah.
which we will then respond with.
So we will be continuing this story next week. But we will see you guys tomorrow for the paint party. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your night.
Bye.